All right, let's talk about that moment of panic. You know the one. You spot a weird, fuzzy white speck on one of your favorite plants, and your heart just sinks. Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to turn that anxiety into a rock-solid plan to fight back against one of the most annoying pests out there, the mealybug. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get to know our enemy, what they are, and what their weaknesses are. Then, I'll let you in on the secret weapon, and we'll launch a full-scale attack, step by step. And finally, we'll talk about how to win the long game and keep these things from ever coming back. You know, the first time you see mealybugs, it's tricky. It really doesn't look like a bug at all. And that's their whole strategy. They get a foothold before you even realize your plant is under siege. Yeah, to most of us, it just looks like this, a little bit of fluff, maybe some dust, something you just casually brush off without a second thought. It is such an easy mistake to make, and honestly, these pests are counting on it. Because let's be real, that's exactly what it is. That tiny white spot isn't just a nuisance. It's the first scout of an invading army, and its mission is to suck the life right out of your plant. We have to treat this as the serious threat it is. To win this fight, we can't just start spraying and praying. We need a strategy. And that starts with knowing your enemy. Understanding how the mealybug works, how it defends itself, that's the absolute key to taking it down for good. So let's meet our little adversary. This isn't just some soft little bug. Oh no. It's a parasite that's basically evolved into a tiny walking fortress. Its entire purpose is to latch onto your plant and siphon away all those vital nutrients. And their defenses are actually pretty smart. It's a three-part system. First, they've got this waxy, fluffy coating that makes water just roll right off. Second, they have these sharp, piercing mouthparts for drinking sap. And third, they are masters of disguise, hiding in every little nook and cranny they can find. And that waxy shield? That's exactly why so many people struggle to get rid of them. Most pesticides you buy are water-based, and they just beat up and roll off. Totally useless. But alcohol? Alcohol doesn't get repelled. It dissolves that shield on contact. And just like that, this little fact leads us straight to the perfect weapon. And you know the best part? You almost certainly have it in your bathroom cabinet right now. Yeah. Instead of reaching for some expensive, potentially toxic chemical, we are going with good old rubbing alcohol. It is super cheap. It's way safer for you and your pets, and it works physically, not with some complicated nerve poison. It's actually a really simple 1-2-3 punch. The alcohol instantly melts away that waxy armor. Then it gets inside and basically dries the bug out from the inside. And finally, it evaporates so fast that it doesn't have time to damage the plant. It's an elegant and totally brutal attack. Now listen, this part is super important. The concentration really matters. You want to find exactly 70% isopropyl alcohol. If you go higher, like 99%, it actually evaporates too fast before it can do its job. And if you go lower, it might not be strong enough. 70% is that Goldilocks zone. It's just right. All right, enough theory. It is time to go on the offensive, and we're not just going to spray randomly. This is a coordinated, three-tiered attack designed to get every single bug, from the adults down to the eggs. First up, the surgical strike. You're going to grab a cotton swab, dip it in that 70% alcohol, and physically touch every single white fluff ball you can see. You'll actually see them turn from white to this kind of brownish-orange color. Then wipe them off, get them off the plant. Okay, next up is the carpet bomb. See the adults you just killed? They're just the tip of the iceberg. So fill a spray bottle with that same 70% alcohol, and I mean drench the entire plant. Get under the leaves, into the little joints where the leaf meets the stem, everywhere. This is for all the babies and teenagers we can't even see. And this is absolutely critical. Always follow the shadow rule. Never ever spray a plant with alcohol and then put it in the sun. It's like giving it a horrible sunburn. You can seriously damage the leaves. Always do your treatments in the evening or in a nice shady spot. Now listen up, because this is the part where most people fail. You can't just do this once and call it a day. There are unhatched eggs hiding, just waiting to start the invasion all over again. To really win, you have to commit to a sustained campaign. You need to follow this schedule. It's not optional. You have to repeat the spray every single week for at least 4 weeks. Why? Because you're catching the new waves of bugs as they hatch, before they have a chance to grow up and lay more eggs. This is how you break the cycle for good.
Okay, so once the infestation is finally gone, our job changes. We switch from attack mode to defense mode. Let's talk about how to make sure this never, ever happens to you again.
Really, the best defense is just a few good habits. From now on, every new plant that comes into your house gets put in quarantine for a few weeks. No exceptions. And try to get into a monthly routine of just wiping down your plant's leaves with a little alcohol. And of course, always clean your tools between plants. Look, in the end, the battle really comes down to you. The alcohol is an amazing weapon, for sure, but it's your persistence that's going to guarantee the victory. Stay vigilant, stick with the plan, and you can absolutely keep your plants safe. You've got this. Now go win the war.